YouTube, it is your favorite gamer here, Above Average Cody, and today I'm going to give you guys the best controller settings that you should be playing with to really maximize your aim potential here on Halo Infinite. And I've done a million videos on aim, I've done a million videos on controller settings, and today we're finally going to tie up those two things. I'm going to show you guys the main controller settings you want to focus on strictly for your aim to make it sticky, make it more accurate, and overall just win more gunfights by hitting more bullets altogether. And guys, we're first going to start by showing you the main settings that we're going to be focusing on for your controller. All right, all dead zones and stuff like that aside, I'm going to show you guys exactly what you should be playing with to adjust your aim, what's really going to affect it the most, and I'm going to go over each one individually, how you should really play with it to find the best setting for you. And I know a lot of you are probably here to just get the best value and you want me to tell you exactly what to put, but the reality is, guys, it's going to be different for whatever controller you like to run. It's going to be different for your experience level, and really it's just going to be different for whatever you are most comfortable with. Now, the main settings we're going to focus on, guys, I'm going to use my mouse just so I can kind of point you in the direction here. We're going to focus on these three here under sensitivity and acceleration. So look excel, look sense horizontal, and look sense vertical. We're going to talk briefly about the zoom sensitivity, and then we're going to focus on the max input thresholds for both of your thumbsticks, which I will explain how that's going to affect your aim. First off, guys, we're going to start with the sensitivity and acceleration section here. The horizontal and vertical sensitivity. This is where you have to find what is comfortable for you. If you've played a ton of FPS shooters, guys, you probably know roughly what you want to run, whether you want it higher, in the middle, or lower. And then whatever value you decide on, just make sure you're not like over aiming. If you're having trouble, like you're shooting at the sky, you're shooting way too far past your enemies, your sensitivity is probably a little too high, guys. And if you're having trouble kind of like getting it to them and kind of like correcting your aim or snapping the targets, then you probably have your sensitivity a little too low. And that's really the best rule of thumb for whether you need it higher or lower, guys. But before you can find the perfect value, you have to understand look acceleration, guys. This can greatly affect your turning to enemies, your snapping to targets, and everything in between. Generally, I recommend a higher look acceleration if you're running a lower sensitivity because it can help you with your slow turn to targets. And then I recommend a lower look acceleration if you run a higher sensitivity. However, if you're a very experienced FPS shooter, you're very accurate with the higher sensitivity, guys, by all means, try something like what I run something higher on the sensitivity scale and higher on the look acceleration. Personally, guys, I play a lot of Call of Duty. That's actually why I want to do this video. I just came back to Halo after a lot of Call of Duty Vanguard ranked, and let me tell you, I was feeling really cracked. I was snapping the targets very quickly, and I felt like I needed a bit higher sensitivity, so I did up that sensitivity a little bit, and that's why I run the higher look excel with the higher sens, because that just really makes it feel the most like Call of Duty to me. So you're going to have to find the best value for you guys. I think if you're newer to shooters, try a lower sensitivity, maybe a higher look excel, but again, most of you are probably more experienced either on this game or other shooters, so you guys shouldn't have much of a problem finding a value that works for you. Now, we're going to skip zoom sense for now because that's not quite as important. That's kind of like just a quick tip from me personally I'm going to give you guys. Now, I want you to go down to the move thumbstick, put your max input threshold to 15, guys, because side tip, this will give you the best strafe and the fastest strafe your controller is able to give you. And you're going to be doing a lot of left stick aiming, guys. The fine movements like lining up shots and kind of shooting through somebody else's strafe, your enemy that is, you're going to want the max input threshold on 15. It'll give you the best strafe, and the sooner you put it there, the sooner you can get used to it to help out your aim with the 15 on the max input. Now, for the look thumbstick, guys, I prefer my max input threshold all the way down for the opposite reason. You want it all the way up on the move thumbstick, guys, because it registers the max input as fast as possible when you are moving your left stick. And you want it the opposite on the look thumbstick. This gives you a wider variation in the stick, which means if you move it a little bit, you can make better fine movements. And if you move it a lot, guys, it takes you a second to get there and it won't react as quickly, but it will just feel more comfortable. It'll feel more consistent, and just it makes the sensitivity easier so you can control it. The sensitivity of the stick, that is. Obviously, this has nothing to do with your overall sensitivity in the game. But guys, it'll make it so you can make more precise movements easier. And if you have it all the way up, it's going to feel like your sensitivity is just going crazy, going all over the place. So I do recommend a max input threshold down to 0 for the look and up to 15 for the move. I'm sure a lot of people will have a different opinion on it. But guys, from a lot of playtime on this game. That's just what I prefer. It makes the aim feel good, and that's just what I like to run. Now, coming back up to the zoom sensitivity, guys. Not a big insight here. I want you to leave them all. Oops. I want you to leave them all default. I accidentally pressed B instead of A, so I backed out. And default is 1, a 1 multiplier. Now, the reason you would adjust these guys is if, say, you feel the 10 times sniper scope zoom in is a little too sensitive for you, you're over aiming targets, then you would drop the sensitivity. The reason I recommend leaving it on the default 1, guys, is because it is what you start the game with, and it's just easier to get used to it. And if you've been playing on the 1-time multiplier for a long time, whether you didn't know the controller settings had it, whether you just didn't care to change it, just leave it there, guys. This is going to come down to a comfort thing, whatever you're used to, and generally default is there for a reason, and it's a stable multiplier. So again, the sniper scope will feel slower than, say, the BR scope at a 1-times multiplier. So I recommend leaving it there, guys. It's simple. You can get used to it. Unless you seriously have an issue with one specific magnification scope, then go in, maybe adjust it a little bit, but I recommend just leaving it there. It lets you get comfortable with it, and it doesn't provide any variation in your gameplay, guys. Because the biggest thing with controller settings and aim, guys, to remember is it is all consistency. It is finding something you are used to and sticking with it, and then once you are comfortable with it, you're used to it, you know what to expect, that's when you can really fine-tune and dial in the perfect settings, guys. And I mean, even if you find something you really like, guys, there's going to be something you feel like you want to change at some point, and I promise you that. Like how the other day I just went up on sensitivity because, again, I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty, guys. I'm feeling a little extra cracked lately, so I upped the sensitivity. And once you get good enough, guys, you can run the higher sensitivity, you're snapping the targets, things like that, and getting that really crispy aim. That's when you can kind of go on a higher sensitivity because you already know you have to use your left stick to aim, so you're going to be able to run the higher sensitivity for the quick snaps to targets, the very quick response time, and then you just use your left stick to kind of do the precise aim movements, so the higher sensitivity won't screw you up too much there. And honestly, if you can get a good ping game, guys, the aim assist is pretty good on this game for controllers, so you shouldn't have too much problem with that. So yeah, guys, I mean, it's hard to show you what these settings can do for your aim, but I promise you, if you're running default settings, if you haven't done too much playing around, you'll be shocked at how much just changing some simple controller settings can really do a lot for your aim, guys. So basically, the main just tip I want to leave you guys with is if you're having trouble snapping to targets quickly, you're going to want to play with things such that you can get a little bit more reaction time and snap to the targets quicker. Personally, what I'm doing right now, guys, I like to go into Academy training mode, turn off the bot shooting, put on 2 bots so that you can kill one and then snap to the other as quickly as possible, and you can kind of practice with that, find things that are comfortable, and then again, play with your stick settings, guys, so that you can get, and I'm out of ammo, so that you can get your best, kind of left stick aim, I guess, and you can get comfortable with like a little bit of right stick aim with the precise adjustments and things like that, guys. But I really hope this video helped you out, guys. Those really are the main settings you want to focus on for better aim in this game. I mean, obviously changing your dead zones and stuff can finally adjust things, but it's not going to have a major impact on your aim, and changing those settings isn't really going to miraculously just make you aim better. But I promise you, if you're uncomfortable with your settings, guys, those are the main settings you want to play with. You may see some big improvement in your gameplay if you can find values that are more consistent with your playstyle. But that does it for me, guys. Hopefully this video helped tie in the aim mixed with the overall controller settings aspect. It's nothing I haven't talked about before, but again, I mix like a bunch of different things into different videos, so I kind of want to bring the two in together into this one video. But that's it, guys. That's enough talking. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, guys. A lot of Halo Infinite videos. We just did a Forge Leaks video. We've been streaming Call of Duty, basically anything FPS here on the channel goes. Leave a like on the video, guys, so more people can find it. It really does help out that much more. And then, of course, guys, leave a comment. Let me know, is there anything I left out? Is there anything you guys do to find better controller settings? I'll leave a heart on it so other people can get help from your guys' comments. And then, of course, channel memberships, guys. If you feel so inclined to support monetarily, it helps out a lot, but please don't feel like you have to. But that does it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay tuned for the next video.